Hey guys, so I'm back with another video. In this video I'm going to be talking about my experience visiting Yanniethelocologist and getting my hair treated by her. I'm not sure, I think some of you guys may be from her page. Others, if you haven't seen the video, definitely go over to her channel right now. Check out the video, check out all her other videos, subscribe to her channel, support. She has very informative videos about locks, hair, how to treat them, how to care for them. It's very eye-opening, and in fact in this video I'm going to give my take on what she taught me about what I was doing wrong with my hair. I was doing a lot of things wrong, and I actually do see how it played a negative effect into my hair. Not drastic, but it would be drastic if it went, if I kept doing these things over a long period of time. So like I said, definitely go over there, check out her channel, check out the video. I'm just gonna post snippets here while I talk about what I learned over visiting Yanni. Okay, so the first thing that it was a big surprise. The wash frequency of, I guess I could even just say our hair type, not just for people with locks, right? So basically, I think I mentioned this in a previous video, but I washed my hair. I think I mentioned it, that I wash my hair once a week, and that was a huge mistake. So I thought that I had a dandruff issue, a shedding issue, and or even a dry scalp issue. And it turned out that it was because I was just washing my hair frequently. I was washing my scalp frequently. So Yanni had told me that she does her hair, like, I believe, I don't want to get it wrong, but she doesn't wash it as frequently as I wash it. Let's just say that, like, it will be months at a time, if anything, that she'll wash her hair. And when I looked at her scalp was healthy. So with me, I was convinced that I had to continue washing my hair frequently because I kept seeing these white shedding of my scalp. And it turns out that was because I kept going in there frequently and just getting in there, right? I just kept getting in there and peeling and damaging and scrubbing the scalp and letting that layer lift up, and that layer should be there to protect. And I had no knowledge of that. I'll probably make another video about that, get a little bit more in depth about it. But that was definitely an important tip. And primarily because I was like washing frequently, the buildup that I had, like it wasn't buildup from products or anything, but the buildup that I had was from the shedding of, like, the continuous, like, shedding of that into my hair, and it would get stuck in my locks, and it would just be there, right? It was just there, and it was very annoying. So right now, today is we're in, like, August 25th. I last saw her June, I think mid-June, I can't remember, probably like somewhere around mid-June, and I haven't washed my hair since. And funny enough, if I would go a week and a half without washing my hair, it would, like, start itching, my scalp would start itching, it would be very irritating. It has been a little bit, but that's due to it being dry, etc. But for right now, it hasn't been doing it as much, and I've went so far now over 2 months without washing my hair. And that might be crazy to say, like, to me that's crazy to say, because I will always wash my hair once a week, but I feel good about it. I'm trusting it. I really want to correct the shedding issue, so we're just going to have to see how that plays out. Another thing that she mentioned to me was the products, right? So I was using Dr. Bronner's, right? But I was also using, sometimes I would use Head & Shoulders, which was a terrible idea. It's so thick and it's white. That's already, like, a red flag, 2 red flags. The other red flag is, well, not the other red flag, the other shampoo that I was using after the Head & Shoulders was some anti dandruff that had, like, tea tree in it or whatever, and it was thick as well. And I believe it was cloudy, so it wasn't white, but it was cloudy. And she basically told me that those shampoos are not meant for us. And I had to take a look, I had to take a step back and be like, you know what, you are correct. Because when you watch these commercials, right, you typically see other races that are marketing the product in the commercial. You really don't see a lot of black people. In fact, I haven't seen any here. Like, you see them in the shower, they washing out the shampoo or whatever, and it would not be any black people, from what I'm concerned. So that let me know right there that, you know what, she's correct. Those products don't work for our hair. What they do is they do what they're supposed to do for those people and not for us. So if we're using those products, we're not really getting we're not giving our scalp the treatment it needs, basically. So they treated my hair perfectly well with the correct products, the correct shampoos and stuff that my scalp needed. And in fact, I believe they don't use everything on I think everyone is different. So there's a different process and there's different products and stuff that they use, or different amounts of something that everybody gets, right? So you can't take tips and tricks from people online about, hey, use this, use this, use this. You have to use what's right for your hair. You have to go about it in a identity aspect. Your hair is different from somebody else's. It has its own identity. So you have to make sure that you use certain products for your hair. So that was a really, really good tip that I got. Honestly, I don't even know when the next time I'm gonna wash my hair. I have no idea. Or if I'm gonna go back, I might just go back to her. I don't know when I'm gonna do it though. If I do it, I'm not sure. I might wait a long time. I don't know, but right now it's certainly new. It's different, and I'm gonna say do what's best for you, but don't do it so often. Like, if you're doing it often, notice that it's often by how your scalp is responding. So if like once a month is too often for you based off of how your scalp is responding, then you may need to go longer, right? Or however the thing is, like, you have to figure that out on your own. So another thing that Yanni told me, and this is something that I knew, like I mentioned it already, I got lazy. Right, I take accountability for that, obviously. So separating, right? I got lazy doing that. Sometimes I would wash my hair, and with me washing it frequently, it would make the problem even worse. So I would wash my hair, and I wouldn't separate right afterwards. So when you wash your hair just comes back up quickly and stuff. So if I'm washing my hair on a weekly to every 2-week basis, and I'm not separating my hair, I'm just letting the new growth on my scalp mat up, and this caused my scalp to not be able to breathe. This also caused it to where if I'm trying to wash out the shedding, it doesn't get washed out because I'm not separating often to the point where it lets my loose hair or just the lock in general grow respectively to that specific lock. So like I said, that was something I knew, but she opened my eyes in a bit more way, which is a bit more serious. Like, hey, look, this is why that's not being washed out, or this, hey, your scalp isn't breathing. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I gotta take this a bit more seriously, even though I should have, but people don't learn, right? So that was another cool thing that I had learned visiting on it. So I think one more thing from her that I took from my consultation with her, my visit, is the drying process. So for starters, don't use a t-shirt when drying your hair. It's not going to do the job. Just don't do it. Another thing is towels. I said towel, so plural. When you're drying your hair, you gotta use more than one towel. I would say if you have baby locks, right? If your locks are probably very short, maybe one towel can work. But if you have like long hair, like at least getting to this point, you need to use more than one towel, because one towel isn't going to do the job. It will soak up all the water. Well, not even all the water. It will soak up a good amount of the water. And you're going to continue trying to use it, and nothing is going to get soaked up. And then you're going to think that it's fine, and then you're going to go about your day, and your hair isn't completely dry. So when it's not completely dry, as she has mentioned to me, it creates this, I'll be mean. It creates this stench, right? It's a very distinct smell. It doesn't particularly stink, but it has a smell to it that's like what is that, So my hair was definitely, my hair doesn't even smell like that right now. My hair was definitely smelling like that before, and it annoyed me because I'm like, why does it smell like this? And that's because I wasn't giving my hair the proper time to dry. I would wash my hair, a week later washed it again, a week later washed it again. Sometimes, depending on, you know, your hair, it may need a whole day, it may need 2 days, right? It just needs time to dry. The surface will be dry, but then inside the lock will still probably have to dry because this is a sponge. It just soaks up, you know, a lot of liquid at one time. So that's actually super important. So if your hair has been smelling, that could be the issue. And the towel, right? The towel may start, right? So if you're using the same towel, that's going to be also a contributing factor to that. So if you're opting to sun dry your hair, I would say definitely like use the towel like maybe right after you get out the shower, so like all that dripping isn't, you know what I mean? But definitely make sure you're outside the whole day. Like if you're doing that, make sure you're outside for a good portion of the day. I'm not gonna say the whole day. Like I said, everybody is different. I'm not gonna put a certain thing on like everyone, and you guys are gonna running and taking my advice. Don't do that. I mentioned that in my saltwater video. I said your own thing, like, right? So if you're gonna do that, do it where I would say the sun is shining. It's sunny outside to begin with. It's hot because the heat evaporates the water as well, so you have to also look at that too. And where you know you can take time to do that, right? Where you can take time to take those hours to be outside and relax and dry your hair, right? So those are like the 3 main things, the 3 topics that I took away of drying your hair, separating, and washing that I took away from visiting Yanni. Again, go over to her channel, watch the rest of the video, watch the video in its entirety with the commentary. She talks about these things as well. I will try to, if anything, maybe I'll try to make a bit more in-depth videos explaining certain things on a science level if, you know, need be. But until then,